I'm so tired, y'all. I'm almost never tired. Like, not tired enough to go to sleep. And I could not stop napping today. I was like, I have got to wake up because there's no way I'm going to sleep tonight if I keep doing this. So, y'all forgive me. I'm tired tonight. Um, I brought a couple of pieces to show you. I just did a Facebook video on the Secret Creations that tells the story of how I got my chickens. So if y'all want to hear that, y'all could go over there because I'll save this channel for the stuff that I can't do over there. So I brought y'all this piece that I did on wood. Just a slice of wood. Hopefully the lighting will be better than it was for the Facebook video because I don't think the colors were coming out right. Let's see. It's like, it's a pour that I did, and then it's covered in acrylic resin. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see all of this. It's a cute little piece, and then on the back, I added this other little bonus piece, which was like this little postcard that I painted. And I signed it so that there's a little, like a bonus on the back for the owner that everybody else doesn't necessarily know about. And you can put it in one of those like like those things that you put pictures in. It sits in one of those nicely. That's what I do when I go to shows. I don't know if y'all are gonna get the coolness of this psychedelic piece. All right. And then I brought you some landscapes. So, let me rearrange. Let me shove y'all back a little bit. You're kind of close. Okay, so this is a fall piece. I'll try and get back further. See, I'll zoom you in. The colors are definitely much better than they were literally 30 minutes ago. That glare from outside is something else. So there's a fall piece. And this one is like I don't know. There's some places in East Texas like this, and Louisiana, or Florida, like a swampy kind of a scene. That color is much better than it was 30 minutes ago too. Let me zoom in here for you. I'm trying to get rid of that glare. Oh my gosh. Sounds like gunshots when those squirrels make those nuts hit the roof. This studio has a metal roof, so one of those big pecans hits the roof. It sounds like gunfire. That scared the poop out of me. Okay. And this last one is like one of those enchanted pieces that y'all like. But it's got wisteria. Zoom you in. Let's go into the swing. It's all kinds of flowers. I love flowers. try to do when I'm doing landscapes, like I try to get one of all the colors that somebody might like, like a pink one, a red one, a blue one, a purple one, a yellow one, I try and get all the colors in there, so whatever decor you have, you'll find something that you like, you know what I mean? I just have jammers on, and I just threw this little thing on, and I just got out of the shower, and I didn't do my hair. It's just, whatever it is. It's just this, and, we're gonna do some more chatting. Let me get y'all closer again. I have the chair close because I had baby boy in here, but he's not in here right now. Okay. So, let me think. We were in Florida. I was working at La Pig Alley. Oh, hi. If you don't know me, my name's Rhonda. If you want to see my art, is on Instagram at RhondaMills67. And I have lightweight stuff on Facebook, like cooking segments and stuff like that on The Secret Creations. And I would appreciate it if y'all would like and follow. And if you're here on my YouTube, if you would subscribe and hit the little bell so you know when I'm coming live. Because you just never know when I might pop on here. I've been sleeping all day. That's not normal. Ugh. Tomorrow's Monday. Got school tomorrow. All right. Y'all ready to get into this? La Pig Alley. Okay, so it is the 80s. I'm 16. I'm in Miami trying to survive. And at this particular part in the story, I am working at a place called La Pig Alley, which is about a block away from the beach. Like in a not so great part. Not that there was, at the time, very many great parts in Miami. I mean, I used to watch that Miami Vice and think, where are they filming this at? It's a lot different when you live there. But anyway, I'm working at La Pig Alley. Now, the men that run the place are in suits. It is completely different from any other bar that I'd worked at. In some of the bars that you work at, you will never in your life meet the owner. Sometimes, occasionally, you'll meet the owner, but you will never have the owner hang out like on a nightly basis. And that's where he would do business, and that's where his friends would come with their suits. It was, pretty obvious. These weren't just like, hey, how you doing conversations, right? It was set up different than all the other bars that I've been worked at, because most bars have the main stage and then you have side stages. This one was just that, the main stage, that was it. It was a long, like I explained to you, like a runway. And so the tables were all around that long stretch. And they all had red tablecloths, and it was like, I don't want to say classy, because it wasn't, because things happen under those tablecloths. You would go by and see the tablecloth moving. You know what I'm saying? I told you about the private dressing room, which was awesome. And I told you that they performed like different acts there, and sometimes they would wear pasties. And I know that back in the day, it was a place where it was pasties, and, it was like true go-go dancers. So now that you have that, now remember, Gino told me to leave Miami. He's like, leave Miami. And I wanted to leave Miami, Um, but you need money to do that. You know, you can't just move about the cabin with no vehicle um, and no money. So I was trying to get money up to leave. Now I'm out on stage one night doing my thing, and I look up just right about the end of my set and I see Chino, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Clearly he has seen me and I'm not supposed to be here. And so I go back in the dressing room and I am freaking out. And every mafia movie that I've seen, every, picture like that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. Like he's going to come in here and, blow me away right here in this dressing room. Um, I was like, oh my God. So I remember that I was freaking out and some girl came and talked to me and she was like, what's going on? What's happening? And I told her, like, there's this guy out there and he told me I'm not supposed to be here and like, blah, blah. And she's like, well, go talk to him. And I'm like, I don't want, are you kidding? Like, right. And she's like, well, he's not going to do anything in here, just go talk to him. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking in my head, she doesn't understand. Like, I understand, but she doesn't understand. And so I got up the nerve, y'all, and I went up and sat down next to him. And I expected, I don't know, I expected a lot of bad things to come my way. But he was quiet, and I don't mean quiet like he wasn't talking. I mean, he was just talking really low and he was very calm. But he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm trying to make money. Like, I can't just leave with no money. I need to make money. And he was like, um, you know, I told you to go. And I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you, I don't have enough money to go. And so he's like, all right. He gave me like, I don't remember what it was, 2 days or 4 days or something like that. He's like, that should give you enough time. And he's like, I'm going to come back here. And when I come back here, you better not be here. So, yeah. So I'm like, great. Now I've got, however many days I got to make this money and get out of here. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm back at that inn. And I don't know if I ran into this guy downstairs or we bumped into each other in a hallway or something, but we struck up conversation. I started talking to this guy. And his name was Tony. Anthony, but Tony. And we started talking and we like became friends or whatever. And this was over this period of days. And then eventually I told him, like, I got to get out of here. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to get out of here. Um, and he's like, well, I've got family back in Pennsylvania. And I didn't want to tell him anything, but I'm from Pennsylvania. And so I thought, if he can get me to Pennsylvania and I can get close enough to some family members, I might could have somewhere to stay, until I turn 17, until I can go back. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, this could be a good way for me to get out of here. And I didn't like the idea of traveling alone anyway, so this was going to be perfect, right? So got the money together, got all my stuff together. We left. He doesn't have a vehicle, so we're going to hitchhike. And not that it was real bad, but it was hard to get a ride with a black man and a white girl at that time. Um, Not impossible, but hard. And so we hit the road, and his aim was to first stop in Maryland outside of Washington, D.C., because um, his grandmother lived there. And then he wanted to go see his parents. And I'm not sure where we were supposed to head from there, but that's where I'm going to get y'all going right now. So we headed for Maryland, and it was getting like freezing cold, and we're on these highways, and I didn't have a jacket. I only had like Florida clothing with me. And so I remember that we got some black trash bags and just put a hole, through our head so your body would be covered in the trash bag. And then we would just like hang out under trees or wherever we could get on the side of the highway. It's hard because the cops keep kicking you off the highway, and then you have to find ways to get back on, and you know, it's a nightmare. So he has this idea that it would be good if we could find a truck stop. Now, y'all probably know where I'm going with this, but I didn't know where he was going with this. He's like, it'll be good if we could get a truck stop, because then, you can just pop into all of these different trucks real quick and boom, 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 make some money. And that way we'll have, because you're eating as you're going along, and you have to eat out, right? So meals are expensive, and somebody has to pay for a hotel or something like that. You got to get the money from somewhere. So guess who was going to get the money? So at this point, I'm like already hardened to this idea, like, okay. But I'm thinking in the back of my head, now this one too, like every time I, think I land in a different spot, they're trying to do the same thing. Just, put me right back out there again. And so we did the little truck stop thing to get enough money for hotels and travel and all that fun stuff, and eventually made our way to his grandmother's house. Now, what's difficult is I'm like a really clean person, and so it's hard when you don't have a hotel to stay in to try and get clean, and so you have to get into bathrooms and take as best sponge baths as you can take, and all that kind of stuff. But when we got to his grandmother's, who was white, not that it matters, I'm just saying it was odd to me because I didn't see that in him. But we got there, and she made us these pork chops and rice. That was like the best pork chops and rice I've ever had in my life. I don't know if it was because it was homemade food, and she had a bathtub, and I went and took a hot bath, and it was like, oh my God. It was like heaven on earth, like a real bathtub with real hot water. Whew, that was amazing. And the pork chops were amazing. And, well, I'm not going to say on here what we did, but we visited the Capitol and then looked at all of the places across the street that are like, like peek places, where you peek through holes and put in coins, and there's all kinds of, weird places like that down there. Um, yeah, so we left Maryland pretty quickly and headed for his parents were somewhere outside of Pittsburgh. And I needed to get, 6 hours away from there. So we hitchhiked to his parents' house, went there, met his parents, had dinner with them. Um, I don't remember if we spent the night there or if we just moved on. Um, I'm getting long on my video. Okay. So I'm going to have to continue this with like a part 2, part 3, part 4. This is a long one, y'all. It's a long one. Because there's lots of stuff that I have to fill you in on. That's like the in-between stuff. Oh. We'll get to it. So, y'all have a really good Sunday night, and I'll come back on here tomorrow and tell you some more stuff. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can check me out on Facebook and check me out on Instagram and check out my art, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.